The world is in the grip of a pandemic and facing a global climate crisis at a time when the political machinery in the United States appears to be in gridlock. What can Biden do that would really matter? Dems need a better story. Imagine Biden were to cancel all student debt in the next few weeks. What do you think would be the implications of that? Why do I bring this up right now? It is something we could do. It is something we should do. It is something we can afford to do. It should be part of a bigger contract to do our part to take on the intersecting crises of our communities, our country, and our world. It is something we could do. Democratic leadership is close. Nearly all money involved in canceling all student debt is to be eliminated from the economy, not paid to others who need the payments in order to spend or meet obligations. Advocacy groups and policy advisors are converging on this modern monetary theory realization, building political capital. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told activists on Wednesday that President Biden and his senior advisors are warming up to the idea of forgiving student debt, insisting they are closer to pulling the trigger than ever before. Schumer goes on to say, "I have told him that this is more important than just about anything else that he can do on his own." Harvard legal experts say it can be done with an executive order. The Debt Collective documents the legal mechanism, and Luke Herron has shown how this could be implemented administratively. It is something we should do. Student debt keeps Americans from doing what it takes to build back better, take a job, or start a business that really makes sense given their skills and interests and the greenhouse gas needs of the planet. Move geographically, buy a home, have kids, and so on. In short, student debt impedes ability to make plans. Student debt is a tax that punishes education. As a currency-issuing government that doesn't need tax receipts in order to spend, we should tax for goals like reining in booms and busts for steady development, reducing concentration or market power that could erode democracy, discouraging harmful activities like pollution. We should not tax to hold back people who worked against disadvantage to develop their knowledge and abilities. It is something we should do. It relieves harm to our society that exacerbates existing inequities. Women had 2/3 of the debt, and its burden falls disproportionately on Black Americans. Black women at the intersection are hit hardest. An expert cited in the Washington Post says, "They made the rational choice that we put before them as a society, but because they're Black women, that means that they were saddled with additional student loan debt, that they attended institutions that were underfunded and were predatory, and that they face a labor market that undervalues their expertise." Not only do Black women face employment barriers not solved by education, they have less personal and community financial power to draw upon. One study found that they were nearly 2/3 to less than 1/3 as likely to have received help from friends or family to pay for loans than other demographics. It is something we can afford to do. Read Stephanie Kelton's book, The Deficit Myth, Modern Monetary Theory and the Birth of a People's Economy. A group of economists informed by this perspective put the lie to the concept that we can't afford to cancel all student debt in a research project documenting the monetary operations and modeling their economic impact, finding a healthier economy with little effect on measures of concern. Do current inflation concerns invalidate MMT? MMT illuminates current price pressures. The price of oil is high all over the world because Saudi Arabia, the major producer in OPEC, which is the majority global producer, is able to set prices. It is simply not about U.S. monetary policy, as some people used to think, which can only set interest rates. The Fed can change interest rates to its heart content, and Saudi Arabia does not need to care. Other price pressures come from sources such as productive capacity and ability for the economy to adapt, all of which are helped by canceling all student debt. The harm of inflation from costs to consumer pocketbooks is helped, even for those not earning higher paychecks, by lifting major costs like student debt. Canceling all student debt should be part of a bigger contract for full inclusion and maximum participation. Possible messaging around this could include the fact that we tried to pass Build Back Better, but right-leaning legislators, mostly Republicans, only vote for budget increases that help the wealthy interests they represent, not to help you. This is a nightmare. It would have been great to have implemented the full Green New Deal portfolio that starts with people where they are, as they are, in a federally funded job guarantee at a price-stabilizing, dignified wage, and mobilizes the nation's capacity on the scale needed to meet an existential crisis. Short of that, the best way to get the country moving, that the president could do without the help of these right-leaning legislators, is cancel all student debt. The bigger contract, a new Bill of Rights, should include protecting elections, protecting labor from unemployment and unfavorable wage and working conditions, protecting communities from poor health and pandemics, protecting groups and individuals from the harms and continuation of historic inequities, protecting the planet from greenhouse gas emissions, and making the public good of a college education free moving forward. Vote for Democrats in the midterm, and you can have all these important things. It isn't just gridlock and excuse. Voting can lead to real action. In conclusion, we don't need to be held hostage. Bad faith negotiations with Kyrsten Sinema, Joe Manchin, Mark Warner, and the like are on track to destroy the Biden agenda. We need unilateral executive action to let voters know it matters who you vote for. The progressive Democrats have strategies that support you. Time is short to do something out of the box. Canceling all student debt is the single best available choice. What are the implications of this policy? The implications of canceling all student debt include freeing 45 million people from constraints that prevent them from participating fully in the life of the nation, including in key climate innovation efforts. Freeing lower-income borrowers, especially women and people of color, to build a better society. Improving the greater economy because people could then afford to build homes and start families, create new businesses and demand and provide new and more equitable and sustainable products and services, and circulate their incomes in communities that otherwise couldn't sustain them. Democrats need a powerful message. If the GOP takes the House or Senate, we likely will lose on climate change, on voting rights, on democracy protection in general. Dramatic action is needed to show the American people they have a better option. Recognize all our policymakers know Stephanie Kelton's The Deficit Myth, Modern Monetary Theory and the Birth of a People's Economy, and know it is true, whether or not they like the progressive possibilities of that truth. It is time to up our message and get those progressive possibilities enacted. The message is an MMT call to cancel all student debt. Canceling all student debt is the biggest opportunity on the table. It is easy and transformative. It is the place to start. Please tweet to the president. Write to him. Let him know we are all resonating on the MMT message. building the political capital he needs. Let's make this happen.